All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name's Gabby.
And I'm Charlotte.
Oh, sorry. We didn't see you over this
Forest of flowers.
So, guys, we're from Brantford, Ontario. That's where we film. That's where our dealerships, or two of our dealerships at least, are located. And we had the awesome opportunity of hitting 100,000 subscribers earlier I guess it was late last year. So late 2023. And we did a giveaway. One of our giveaway winners was our very own Forest of Flowers Brantford, who is located in
Brantford.
And they do an awesome job with floral arrangements, and they so graciously gave us this beautiful bouquet of tulips, so thank you so much. Now, I promise we'll get into the video. Today's live stream is dedicated to the 2024 Hyundai Elantra Luxury in the hybrid trim. So we filmed the straight luxury, non-hybrid, a few weeks ago, and a lot of you guys seem to agree with us that the hybrid's probably the best buy in the Elantra lineup in general. And there's a lot of reasons for that. We're going to break them through today. And we're also going to give you a full walkthrough of the interior and the exterior, as well as explain what we love about this vehicle, what we think could be improved upon, and our general thoughts.
Absolutely.
So, Charlotte, why do we do these videos?
We do these videos for three reasons. Of course, the main purpose is for you guys who own Kia or Hyundai product. The second reason we do these videos is if you are searching for a new or pre-owned vehicle, why not consider Kia or Hyundai? And of course, we're also a dealership here. So if you haven't already subscribed to the Kia Hyundai channel, do that. But if you want to support our primary business, it's actually selling cars. So we're, of course, here at Brantford Kia, but we also have Brantford Hyundai and Owen Sound Hyundai as a part of our dealer group.
Awesome. Now, with that being said, we're going to get straight into the walkthrough today. I'm going to talk about the exterior and the powertrain and how it differs from your traditional gasoline Hyundai Elantra or our turbocharged Elantras. And yeah, we'll just walk you through it. So let's get right into it.
Oh, this update's still messing me up.
Yeah. First things first, for 2024, there was a little bit of a refresh for the exterior. So you'll notice we now have a more aggressive front end. Let's take a closer look. And a lower look, because for 2024, they kind of shrunk down the grille. It's lower, it's wider, and it's meaner. So if you're like someone who likes the sporty look on their vehicle, look no further. This hybrid still has that sleek look that the other Elantras offer. This is awesome for me because in the past, a lot of hybrids kind of had hybrid promotion all over them. There was a giant hybrid badge on them, lots of green, blue accents, you name it. And some manufacturers still do that. Toyota, I'm looking at you. So the fact that this looks like a regular car is quite nice for me. Your Hyundai emblem is low profile in aluminum. We have this distinct satin chrome flash bar spanning across. So in other models, you will see that as a LED daytime running light. But for this vehicle, your LED daytime running lights are just encased in the regular unit over here. You also have LED main headlamp. So that's a first for the Elantra Hybrid Luxury. In the past years, it was still a regular bulb, a halogen bulb, which luxury and halogen don't exactly go hand in hand for me at least, so I'm very glad they changed that for the new model year. If you take a closer look in the very center of the grille, you'll notice this rectangular plate. And that plate, it's not for aesthetics because that'd be kind of weird. That is actually for safety, and I'm happy to say this vehicle has advanced smart cruise control. So that means that this car will stop all the way up to a complete halt and then take you right back up to speed. So if you're someone who does a lot of stop and go traffic city driving, you're gonna love it just for that reason. But then, now let's talk about the hybrid because you'll love it even more because of this. Under the hood, I'm just gonna pop that open. We have a 1.6 liter gasoline engine. So that engine, I mean, you may have heard of her before. Runs on gas, ignites, powers your vehicle. But for the hybrid, you also get a 32 kilowatt electric motor, so hence your hybrid powertrain. All your hybrid elements are going to be encased in that very, very bright orange right over there. And essentially, when these two work together in a hybrid fusion, you're going to have 4.7 liters per 100 kilometers for your consumption. That is 2 liters per 100 kilometers less than a regular gasoline Elantra, which is already super fuel efficient. The price point is only $2,500 more than a gas hybrid, than a regular luxury Elantra. So price point is not too much of a difference. And depending on how much you drive, that might actually make up for itself within just a year of driving. So something to take note of. If you're curious about how much you can get out of your vehicle on a full tank of gas, it's only a 42 liter tank, so fairly cheap to fill. And I have just under 900 kilometers till empty on this vehicle on a full tank. That is a lot. Now, I drove this vehicle today. I took it from our Hyundai store, which is about 8 kilometers away, so it wasn't a huge or long drive, but I had it in EV mode for majority of the drive. So going 50 kilometers per hour, the vehicle was still running on EV, so not even utilizing the gasoline engine. So that's impressive. That's just my take, my perspective. Obviously, if you're someone who has a heavier foot, if you're launching it right at a green light, that may vary, but it'll still be extremely efficient. Okay, back to the exterior. For our body or our mirrors, they are body color. Because this vehicle is black, you wouldn't be able to tell, but that's the body color. This is called Abyss Black, and it's one of Hyundai's beautiful paint options. However, if you're someone who likes grays, reds, whatever it may be, there are a ton of other options to choose from. You also get a turn signal integrated onto your rear mirror, side mirrors, oh my goodness. And we have blind spot detection, so I might actually have Charlotte showcase that emblem on the mirror right over here. Charlotte?
Oh, sorry. I was reading comments. Rick is on.
That's okay. Thank you for joining us, Rick. So Rick was actually the one who gave us those tulips. Thank you very much. And they are customers from our Brantford Hyundai store. All right, and now when it comes to the rear end, we have Elantra, boldly written across the rear bumper. I shouldn't say bumper, across the trunk. And that, again, is our low profile material. So it's not gouging, it's not sticking out, and it doesn't look cheap. It looks very, very nice with the vehicle. Another thing I love that they added, a lot of compact cars do not have an actual trunk release located at the trunk. So you'll have to either unlatch it from your key fob or from the driver's area. So this is just a really helpful thing. I love it. Open this up, and there's so much space back here. Actually enough space for probably 3 of me. And if you want to see me in the trunk, check out tomorrow's video at 6 p.m. because I may or may not have lived in there for a little bit. So tons of room underneath the floorboard. Let's lift it open. We do have our mobility kit. However, if you are someone who needs a spare, there is certainly enough room to place a compact spare tire over there for peace of mind. I'm always tempted with new cars just because I work at a car dealership and we always have cars around us, but I never actually really considered a hybrid sedan until I saw this one. Once I saw how much fuel I got to a tank, or how much kilometers I got to a tank, my jaw dropped. I already drive a Kia Forte, which again is a very efficient car, but the hybrid makes it, ooh, chef's kiss for me. I absolutely adore it. Let me know if you guys think it's worth the $2,500 upcharge versus the regular luxury. Charlotte's going to take over the interior now and show you what else this car comes with.
Awesome. So similar to what Gabby was saying is my husband, he does the reverse commute of Gabby. He goes from Brantford to Hamilton, and he also drives a Forte. It's a couple of years older, but I was saying the same thing where I'm like, I think when that car dies, might need to look a little bit at the Hyundai Elantra luxury hybrid. But let's take a look inside and then we can actually decide. So first off, we'll take a look at the driver's side door, and Gabby can give a nice pan of the cabin. That way everyone can orient themselves. Perfect. Perfect.
Guys, I know this car is a little bit dirty. I promise it's just the sticker on the floor and a little bit of smudge marks there.
But other than that, it has been cleaned, just not for delivery yet.
We didn't have that much time today.
But some of my favorite features that you're getting on this vehicle now, it is the luxury, and with that you do have a Bose premium sound system. You have 8 speakers in the vehicle with external amplifier, so it's super fun that you get to see those premium features on this trim. Of course, power adjustable mirrors. You've got all of your windows with an express window for the driver, all of them automatic, of course.
So Charlotte, you're telling me I get a hybrid, a Bose sound system, and a bunch more tech features that you're about to talk about for only $30,499 Canadian?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm telling you.
Oh,
plus
boy.
fees in taxes.
Yes.
Got to put that in, all in.
Yeah.
I love that these seats, they're very comfortable. They are a leatherette seating, and they are also heated to match your heated steering wheel. Now, this is a luxury trim, and one thing that I don't necessarily connotate with luxury is the fact that it is manual adjustable. So 6-way manual adjustable for the driveway, manual adjustable for the passenger as well. So I wish we would have seen electric or automatic, but that's okay. I'll have Gabby show right here, and then I'll have her come around. So over here, you just have your brightness adjuster for your instrument cluster, 12-volt battery reset because you are a hybrid, and we are in a hybrid, not you are a hybrid.
I am a hybrid.
And traction control, disabling it. So come around.
All right. Another cool thing about this vehicle that separates it from the regular luxury, it's not really tech features, it's not safety features, it's a suspension. So on this one, you're going to get a rear multi-link suspension versus your usual torsion beam, which you'll find on our regular gas Elantras. Unless you're looking at the N line, which is turbocharged. But anyway, let's get into it.
All right, so I'm going to address something that can be a little bit of a hot topic right off the bat, and this is right here. Now, from where I'm sitting it's a very driver-focused vehicle. Like, this is definitely a commuter car in mind. It's not necessarily taking into account the passenger seat. And this barrier, I know for a lot of people, it can be a make or break. Now, it does act as a little bit of a handle, and of course, Gabby can very easily.
Let me turn on my heated seat. Oh,
Get our
you want me to adjust the climate for you?
hand through there, but so that is kind of one of the drawbacks, but it does definitely help make it feel like a very driver oriented and almost very much like a cockpit. So if you are a commuting person, this is probably going to be something beneficial for you, but not necessarily for someone else who's in the vehicle. I'm so scared.
It's just Soren. I'm gonna read it out loud because
Okay.
this killed me. Soren said, "Gabby with her hand in the crack knives."
Oh my goodness. Okay, this video is off to such a chaotic start, but that's pretty funny. Okay, so for screens, we do have dual 10.25-inch screens. I love the simplified graphics when it comes to the instrument cluster. You can see that there. You have a digital speedometer, digital tachometer, and then of course your navigation and media controls are all going to be on this screen. You do have, of course, the hybrid menu because we are having a hybrid vehicle, so you can see the energy flow and also get some of your hybrid quick stats. Some of your other features, of course, going to be navigation. It is equipped with navigation. You've got quiet mode, valet mode, both of which we've done videos on, and of course, phone projection too. We'll click on that. Now, you do need to use a approved USB cable, so we do have a wired connection when it comes to Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but that's okay. You can still plug it in and stream mine and Gabby's podcast, Trunk Talk, streaming on all your streaming platforms.
We talk about some cool stuff there.
We talk about some cool stuff there. You're not going to want to miss it. We talk about compact cars.
That's cool.
What a coincidence. I've already spoken a little bit about the steering wheel, but just to go over it again, it is leather wrapped, it's heated, and on this side it's going to have your media controls with your driving controls like lane keep assist, lane follow assist, and of course your cruise control for nice, easy access. Mm-hmm. If we want to talk about some style features, Gabby, of course, mentioned that we have that bar running across the center of the vehicle. I love how it ties in on the interior too when it comes to the vents, and you also have a little bit of ambient lighting because you do get ambient lighting on this trim too. So it adds, again, a little bit more to luxury elements, a little bit more fun, a little bit more sporty too. Mm-hmm. When it comes to your actual controls, pardon me, you have a push to start button. Thank you. Of course, media navigation controls, and then climate control. We do have dual zone climate control, meaning I can set my temperature to whatever I'd like, and Gabby can set hers to whatever she'd like. Now the benefit is it's also auto defogging. So if you put your defrost on and you are struggling to figure out which temperature you need in order to get rid of the fog, it will automatically do it for you, set it to the proper temperature. That way you are not trying to figure it out by yourself. So I love that feature. It's a lifesaver. Of course, you are going to have your heated steering wheel. It's a little bit hidden here, but of course, if you're driving this vehicle every day, you're going to know where that button is. Heated seats for myself and Gabby, recirculated air, and then front and rear defrost. Down at the bottom, you can see we've got a 12-volt, USB for connectivity, USB-C for fast charging, and of course, a wireless phone charger too.
I will say this area is definitely not Kia Hyundai Channel approved for filming, just because this bar really...
It's like right in the way.
Yeah. This is not built with me in mind.
No. Gabby talked a little bit about the drive of this vehicle and, of course, your fuel economy too. Now, one thing that can affect your fuel economy is going to be the utilization of drive modes. Now, this vehicle is equipped with 3. You've got Eco, Sport, or Smart, and I also apparently heard that some people call it Eco mode.
Yeah.
I say Eco. Let me know if you guys say Eco or Eco.
And please explain to us why you call it Echo, because
if you do, because we don't know why.
I don't get that. Anyway.
But of course, each of these are going to change the way that the vehicle drives. Eco, of course, designed to be your electric mode, utilizing the hybrid powertrain. Sport mode, of course, is going to be a little bit sportier, more aggressive on the throttle, tighten up your steering for you, real fun drive. And then smart mode, of course. Mm-hmm. So all of which we've talked about in a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
So again, as I was driving this vehicle, like I said, I was doing 50 kilometers per hour, like city speeds, and it was in EV mode. My jaw dropped because the fuel didn't go down at all. I was just driving, I like to say, for free. Every time I drive an EV at work, I'm like, yeah, I'm driving for free, guys. Anyway, so the fuel efficiency amazed me. Another thing, so a lot of people, if it's their first hybrid, they may not understand that they don't have to plug this one in. It's not a plug-in hybrid. So you never have to worry about charging it. You don't have to worry if you live in an apartment and having no cables. That's okay. The engine charges the vehicle. Braking charges the vehicle. And then, of course, if you're coasting, it's going to be utilizing mainly just the e-motor. So it's a smooth drive, quiet drive. You also don't very much feel the engine kick in when it does. So let's say you're getting onto the highway, you need a little bit more power from the car. It's obviously going to turn on the engine, but it doesn't feel like the engine just shuttered on. So it's very, very smooth.
Absolutely.
Next.
Next, on that note, just some of the last features we have here. Of course, we're going to have your backup camera, so with dynamic guide lens, and then another view here if you need to back it up, say if you have a bike rack or anything like that attached to the rear. Electronic parking brake, and also the inclusion of auto hold. So when this is enabled, if you are driving and you bring the vehicle to a full and complete stop, it actually will hold your vehicle at a stop. You can take your foot off the brake and it will hold you there until you can put your foot back on the gas. So fun feature, especially if you're going through a drive-through, and Gabby and I have absolutely tested that and really just use it as a way to expense drive-through through work. Cup holders. Now, one thing I will say that is done well in this vehicle is I like the look of piano black, but of course it's a fingerprint magnet. I think that this is just the right amount of piano black. It's a nice detail, gives a good contrast, but it's not so overwhelming where it's going to be fingerprints everywhere. Here's your console. Pretty decent size.
Nice shape.
Yep, I definitely prefer it to the one that's in the Kona. You can see a little bit more of the ambient lighting now that the lights in the bay are off. And of course, up top, we also got our sunroof.
Ooh, that one opened. Okay. Samarth wants you to start the vehicle and rev it.
No.
This isn't exactly a vehicle you want to hear rev. All right. So again, quick look at some of the styling elements. The Bose speakers look real nice too. Like Charlotte said, there's 8 of them. And then you get an external amp. Getting out of the car is always a challenge.
You've got 1 speaker for every airbag, 2.
Yes.
All right, so this is what your back seat is going to look like. Again, we still have the leatherette seating. Again, something else I would have liked to have seen in the back is the inclusion of rear air vents. Unfortunately, we do not see that today, but
we get USB-Cs.
too bad. But you do have 2 USB-Cs, that's exactly right. You also have a nice pocket here for storage, and then in the center, surprise, surprise, it's your armrest and also 2 cup holders.
Also, this car just arrived. There's still some plastic.
So there's still some plastic on it.
Guys, we don't have a marketing budget.
If anyone is curious as to what it looks like sitting in the center seat, you have a decent amount of room. Of course, I'm not wearing flat shoes today, but I'll still recommend if you're traveling with someone who is taller, let them have the passenger seat, let them sit in one of these seats, but it still is going to be comfortable. And I think there's a surprising amount of headroom in the back too. It's always hard to tell because it can get dark, just with the color of the headliner too, and also the camera. But there is a surprising amount of space in this vehicle.
Here's some literature. So,
literature.
We have this vehicle rated for 4.7 liters per 100 kilometers. That is 60 miles per gallon. Smiles per gallon, you will, when you never have to stop at a gas tank. You can see on the highway it's rated at 4.5, 4.8 in the city. And annual fuel cost, of course, this varies depending on where you live. And this is averaging $1.70 per liter. Just $1,363. Not bad. I spend that in a few months of driving. So.
Oh, for sure.
All right. Okay. Wheels, I realized I didn't mention the wheels. These are 17-inch alloys. They're exclusive to the luxury trim. Whether you get hybrid or just straight gas, you'll get this design. Everything exterior-wise is exactly the same on both luxury trims. Luxury gas, luxury hybrid. The difference is engine, of course, a powertrain, and then rear suspension. Okay, we answer some questions now. All right. Ooh.
There we go.
Okay, I might show the car a little more. Can you adjust the level of regenerative braking? No, so this vehicle just has its standard regen. So as you ease off the throttle, it is going to slowly, you'll see your, you don't have a regular tachometer in this car, it's actually an eco tachometer. So it shows power. Let's go take a look. I don't remember off the top of my head. Power. That's one of them. It does that. Okay. Also, Zoran wants to know who called who to coordinate the outfits first. We don't coordinate our outfits at all.
I feel show up like this every day.
The longer we've worked together, the more we just start wearing the same thing.
We share one brain cell.
Right. I'm going to start the vehicle and explain this gauge cluster a little bit. So let's give her a start. You can see, ready to drive, and it's an EV right now, obviously. Oh, the hood is open. We don't care. So Charge Eco Power, when it's in the Eco band, it can still be largely in EV mode. So that's something that's really cool to note. Power is going to be utilizing primarily the gasoline engine. Of course, even when the gas is on, or the gas engine's on, I should say, it's still a hybrid. It's just going to consume more fuel, if that makes sense. So think of that as higher on your TAC. Speedometer is regular, so that just looks the way it does. 856 kilometers to a full tank. Engine just shut on, or turned on, I should say. But yeah, so that's pretty interesting. When it's in that charge band though that I showed earlier, that is when it's actually powering back the battery. So the kinetic energy from the region is adding charge back to your battery. All right,
I'm reading comments.
maybe we can do the Q&A in here.
Sure. If not, we'll go into the back seat.
I don't really have somewhere to put the gimbal.
Is it Kia Hyundai approved in the fact that we don't have anywhere to put our gimbal? Put it here and sit in the back? Or go up back to our normal spot?
I'll do that. You guys are gonna have to look at the empty back seat for a second, if that's okay.
Look at all that space.
So much space.
Wow.
All right.
Are you coming to this side?
Yeah, I just have to get.
Okay.
Everyone
This is
signs
gonna be
off.
such unfortunate filming.
This is not our best work.
Hey,
If this is your first Kia Hyundai channel video,
bear with us.
it gets better.
Does it?
No, it doesn't. Also, our camera looks.
Smudged. That's so good. Fancy seeing you guys here.
So, how about them Lakers?
How about them Lakers?
All right.
Amen.
Where are we at for comments, questions? How do you open the trunk? So earlier on in the video when we were talking about the exterior, there is just a button on the very rear of the trunk. You can also open it from the key fob. Adele said so much glare, but it's okay.
See if we can angle it down a little bit more.
Can you hold this for a second?
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to.
Someone said it's disappointing that there's no power seats for sure. I definitely wish that there were power seats. I think that would have really added to the luxury element of that. But again, like I said, is if I was changing things, it would probably be the inclusion of power seats and then also rear air vents.
This is so bad.
This is not great. Maybe we should just go to our normal spot.
Yeah. All right. We're already at the
23-minute mark. Let me take this for you.
Okay, thanks, sure. Okay. This feels very vloggy.
I hope everyone has been enjoying all the footage of us just walking around today.
All right. Okay. Yeah, today's kind of unhinged. This is nuts.
it is.
All right.
Goodness.
Okay. Dude is flooding the chat. Trezoran. That's normal. Okay.
Chris says sedans are way more popular in the U.S. nowadays. Canada's going to the SUV route. That is very much true. There are lots of SUVs here in Canada, really North America. Mm-hmm. A couple more sedans are in production in the U.S. and here in Canada, but we actually did a podcast episode on it too.
Yeah, so in the Kia and Hyundai world, there's talk that this model year will be the last year for the Sonata. Mm-hmm. I don't know for sure, but there's rumors. Now, for Kia, on the other side of things, the K5 has been axed, the Stinger's been axed, so a lot of our sedan, we only have one sedan left, and it's the Forte. Mm-hmm. It's sad. It's getting sad. Let's see. Is it hard to put the Hyundai logo on? It is very hard.
We cannot do it by ourselves.
No.
We usually need a third person because we can't really reach.
So those signs are heavy, and they're very tall. It's about... The span of it is like my wingspan, so it's really hard to carry, and we just don't have the strength to lift it up that high and make sure it's stable. Okay.
Here's a good question from Patchai. For new models that don't have MSRP yet, what does it mean to be put on a list? Is there a commitment to buy at a certain price later? Does it mean I get priority to purchase when it becomes available? So this is kind of going to vary.
Yeah, a lot of that is really going to depend on the dealership. So I know if you're doing that at Brantford Kia, all our orders are cancelable and refundable. So let's say the Carnival, for example, for 2025, it's going to be a hybrid. A lot of people are interested in it. Obviously, there's no price released yet. The trim levels haven't been released either. So essentially, we'd get the info that the customers do know. If we know that they want a high trim level and they want a hybrid, we can write that down, take their deposit, and once ordering becomes available, we can put it in. From there, if the price is released and it's too high for them or something happens in the meantime where they have to change of plans.
Yeah, if you want to back out at any point, you are certainly free to do so, and you get your 100% of your deposit back.
Yeah, I would just make sure if it's a different dealership and they don't say this out loud, ask them and get it in writing as well.
Yeah, personally for us, that's what we put on our bill of sales, and generally the customer will initial beside it too. That deposit is fully refundable.
Yep. Rena, so Dewey not afraid? Yes. Is sedan what we call a hatchback in the UK? So no. Sedans are typically 4-door cars. So just like the Elantra over here, it's a car, not an SUV or a crossover, and it's got 4 doors. If it had 2 doors, we'd probably call it a coupe. And if it was a hatchback, it would have a 5th door, or more so of a trunk than just what it's got over there. Than this trunk, it would be more like the trunk we have on the Kia Sportage right over here. So more door-like. Okay, tomorrow's the last Friday of the month, so we'll have a live Q&A also. I heard Jeremy Clarkson use the phrase saloon. Well, if Jeremy said it, then that's it. Let's see. Hire me for sign hanging. MG, why not? I don't like doing it. Charlotte, do you?
Signage?
Yeah, hanging the sign.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, hired.
Let's see. Are the dashboard screens and windscreens covered in the bumper-to-bumper coverage? Thanks. No. So windshields especially, they're not covered under warranty.
If it's stress
Yeah.
fracture, and you can tell that kind of by doing the pen test, pretty much if the pen gets stuck on anything going down or you feel like a little bit of resistance, obviously it's going to be damage. But if it just goes clean through, generally that's a sign that is a stress fracture and that would be covered for you. But windshields are probably the hardest because they take damage.
Yeah, if you're someone who does a lot of highway driving and
you're going to get a stone chip.
Yeah, you pick up a rock or something, it's not warranty. The new 2025 Kia K5 looks good. It does look good. It's a shame we won't get one.
Yeah, I know. I was enjoying at the Chicago Auto Show seeing all the footage coming out from that.
I hope Kia adds sunglass holders back to their car.
You and me both.
So something I've noticed, so everyone asked for a hybrid Carnival, and I mean it was probably bound to happen anyway, but maybe Kia did it because so many of you guys were asking for it. I think if we all ask for sunglass holders, if you leave it below in the comments that you really want a sunglass holder, maybe it can happen.
Yes,
Maybe.
We'll see. We're about the 28-minute mark, so we should probably start wrapping it up.
Yes, definitely. Again, if this is your first video on this channel, I promise it's not this chaotic. We always have a good time, but today was just a
little bit more spicy.
Yeah, a little bit different. But every single day we'll go live on a new Kia or Hyundai vehicle. We'll always give you the facts, the information, what we think, and then we'll always dedicate a solid 5 to 10 minutes towards the end to answer your questions. So if you are in the market for a car, you can ask the pros. We work with these cars every day. We drive them every day. We know what we're talking about. Maybe a little. All right. Some of the comments are just bizarre, says Abe. Yeah, fair. Samrath said for the Hyundai sign, a screen, hang it once, display whatever car logo you feel. That would be the dream. I feel like glare might be an issue, but we'll keep that in mind.
All right. Well, that's all, folks.
That's
all she wrote.
That's all we got today. Again, tomorrow is a live Q&A, so if there's any questions you may have missed throughout this week, definitely join us in tomorrow. It's open period, so it doesn't matter what kind of car you're asking about. I'm here to answer your questions.
I won't be. Bye.
If you want to see more of me and Charlotte tonight at 6 p.m., we have a fun video being posted about the upcoming Kia Carnival and how it's a hybrid, as well as everything else that comes in that vehicle. And tomorrow we will have a short video about this Elantra hybrid and 5 things we love about it.
All right. Well, until then, we will see you.
See you next time.
Bye.